Mr Ross.
Mr. Speaker, in 2007, the Unionist electorate endorsed the Democratic Unionist Party. They endorsed the manifesto that we stood on to bring strong and accountable devolution to Northern Ireland. And included within that manifesto was our desire to see policing and justice returned into the hands of Stormont. The position on that made it very, very clear that we wanted two things in order to have the devolution of policing and justice. We wanted to see community confidence, and we wanted to ensure that there would not be a Sinn Fein Justice Minister. In legislation that is already passed in this House, we know that there will not be a Sinn Fein Justice Minister. Sinn Fein will not be nominating to the post of Justice Minister. In addition to that, the mechanism for which a Justice Minister will be elected will require cross-community support. And I think for a position which has sensitivity such as policing and justice, it is important that they can command the support of both communities and maximum buy-in from this House and from the greater Northern Ireland community. As part of that agreement, the Chief Constable will retain 100% control over policing operational matters. There will be no political interference in the judicial system, and national security will remain in the hands of Westminster, as has been said earlier. This is absolutely consistent with what we said we wanted to do, and it's consistent with what the Unionist electorate backed us and endorsed back in 2007. In addition to that, from Hillsborough, we have seen a financial package worth £800 million for the devolution of policing and justice, which even at a time when they're credit crunch and there's pressures on finances and government, is a substantial package for the devolution of policing and justice, and something which has been welcomed by the Chief Constable. We've also seen a package for the part-time reserve, and we have seen progress on parading, including the abolition of the Praise Commission by the end of this year. So, when we look at confidence and we wanted to build confidence, I think all of those things help to build confidence. For the Unionist community, the fact that there will not be a Sinn Féin Justice Minister now or in the future, I think that guarantees that confidence within the community. And also by going around, and this party has been active in consulting with the community, we have ascertained that that confidence is now there, and indeed opinion polls in recent days have confirmed that position. Indeed, as my colleague Ian Paisley Jr said earlier on, the wider community in Northern Ireland want to see progress. They want to see us get on with it. They want to see devolution deliver for Northern Ireland and make real progress in this country. We can contrast what we have achieved, Mr Speaker, with that of the Ulster Unionist Party, who now have stated their opposition to this motion today and their opposition to policing and justice. Mr Kennedy earlier on, in what I presume was a Freudian slip, said that he gave up when he meant to say give way. Well, the Unionist community gave up on the Ulster Unionist Party back in 2003, and they gave up for a number of reasons. And I think that we need to look back at the position of the Ulster Unionist Party in 2003, when they supported the devolution of policing and justice. They wanted to see it here by 2005. And it was mentioned by my colleague Simon Hamilton earlier. They did so in a context which was very different to the way that Northern Ireland is today. They did it at a time when Sinn Féin refused to support the police. They did it at a time when Sinn Féin refused to support law and order. And they did it at a time when Sinn Féin refused to support the courts. In addition to that, the Ulster Unionist Party did it without any safeguards or any blocks on who that Justice Minister would be. Indeed, the Ulster Unionist Party at the time said that a Sinn Féin Justice Minister was inevitable. That is the words of the Ulster Unionist Party. Well, under the Democratic Unionist Party, it isn't inevitable, and we have ensured that there will be a block on Sinn Féin getting the position of Justice Minister. And it appears, Mr Speaker, the Ulster Unionist Party have learned very little over the years, because even today they argue for a system of election for the Justice Minister through the Hunt principle, which of course opens that position up again to Sinn Féin. I think that's something that the Unionist community across Northern Ireland will pay cognizance to. And indeed, again, at the time of Hillsborough, they said that we shouldn't be discussing parading, we shouldn't be linking anything with it, even of policing and justice. I'll give way.
The member agreed with me that if the Ulster Unionists vote no today, that they will be voting against extra money to tackle the dissident terrorist threat that we have in Northern Ireland, and that they will also be voting, to retain the Parades Commission.
I think
minute on his time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think that it won't be lost on the wider unionist community that the £800 million for the policing, for the police service here, will be lost if the Ulster Unionist Party had their way today. I don't think that's been lost. But interestingly, I listened to the radio interview this morning where Mr. McClarty said, "Don't worry, it'll go through anyway, even if we vote against it." And I think that probably highlights the sort of principled position that the Ulster Unionist Party claim that they have today. Indeed, we've heard much about how their opposition is to do with the dysfunctional executive. Well, Mr. Speaker, let's have a look at the first executive that there was under the Ulster Unionist Party and under the SDLP. It collapsed 3 times. It made less decisions than this current executive did. So when the Ulster Unionist Party talk about dysfunctionality, they're probably speaking from a position of great experience since they were in that. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't think that the unionist community will be listening to the Ulster Unionist Party. I think they've lost all credibility in recent days, and I therefore have absolutely no hesitation in supporting the motion today and hope that the House will endorse it. Thank you.